good, Commanders fans? So I just got news. Everybody got news that Frank Reich, the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts, just benched Matt Ryan. He just benched Matt Ryan. That's Matt Ryan's career right there. The Colts are now where quarterbacks go to die. They really are. That's what they're almost as bad as us with quarterback. Not even purgatory, but just quarterback hell, basically. The quarterback twilight zone. After Andrew Luck is retired, they have gone through so many quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, now Matt Ryan, Sam Ehlinger. So many quarterbacks they've gone through. Jacoby Brissett. So many quarterbacks that they've gone through since Andrew Luck retired. So they're just going through that quarterback carousel once again. And I feel like they played another quarterback too, but I just can't remember their name. But I feel like they played so many quarterbacks since. And we still probably played more quarterbacks than them since Andrew Luck retired. That's the crazy thing about it. Garrett Gilbert, Heineke, Alex Smith, who else? Dwayne Haskins. So many guys. Carson Wentz now. We probably have played Ryan Fitzpatrick for a half. Colt McCoy. We probably have played more quarterbacks than the Colts have, which is the crazy part about it too. So I can't really talk too much trash. And it's the Jim Irsay versus Dan Snyder bowl or battle as well. So I had his, honestly, I don't want to spoil my preview, but I had his beating them with Matt Ryan, to be honest with you, because Matt Ryan's just not playing good football. Like, Frank, I'm going to pull up the tweet too. It's from Ian Rappaport, but I know everybody's going crazy on Twitter right now too. Just saying that regardless, he has like a shoulder sprain, but they said regardless of the shoulder sprain, he was going to be benched regardless. And they do have Nicholas Foles on that team too, so they really could start Nick Foles. And Nick Foles is a good back. He's known for coming in and making something happen, being the backup. A la what he did with the Philadelphia Eagles coming in for Carson Wentz, which I think what Heineke could possibly do. He could be like the Nick Foles of this team, to be honest with you, coming in off the bench and just having the team rally behind. You can just see how the teammates loved him. Heineke, John Allen holding him like he was about to, give him. He just had googly eyes holding him in the locker room. Ron Rivera's speech, Chase Young being hyped up for Taylor Heineke. Terry McLaurin being hyped up, talking his trash. I love when Terry talks trash. I love it. On the sidelines, getting hyped with Heineke. Just saying Heineke plays every game like it's his last game. That's the way that Taylor Heineke plays. It may be ugly, but Taylor Heineke, man, he has that moxie, that grit, and he's going to give it his all. He's going to play at 110% every time. Every time. That's what I love about Taylor Heineke. And that's why I really wanted to see him play. I was very intrigued to see him play. And he lived up to the Heineke hype. It's a roller coaster ride. It's going to be one bad half and then one good half. A pick six. And then a beautiful pass, Antonio Gibson, a beautiful pass to Terry McLaurin. He's going to scramble a little bit. Didn't scramble much, but he did duck his head under and made a nice sidearm throw to Marnie Rogers. But yeah, like I said, this is like almost just putting Sam Howell in the game. Like if Carson Wentz was still healthy and he was playing bad. Notice how all the quarterbacks that were traded for, Matt Ryan is awful this year. Russell Wilson is trash this year. Who else? Carson Wentz has been pretty below average, to be honest with you. All the quarterback options, Mitchell Trubisky, who was signed, of course, he wasn't good this year. He hasn't been good. All the free agent acquisitions or the trade acquisitions for the most part at the quarterback position have not been good at all. They have not been good at all, for sure. But the main thing about this video, I wanted to do studs and duds and enjoy the Victory Monday, but we got to look ahead, man. We got to look ahead. We play at 4:30. I want to say the game was on CBS or Fox. I can't remember which channel it's going to be on, but man, this is a winnable game. I don't care who the quarterback was, whether it was Nick Foles, Matt Ryan, Sam Ehlinger. I had us winning this football game. And now I won't sleep on Sam Ehlinger. Sam Ehlinger had a good preseason. He did. He had a good preseason. And I liked him coming out of Texas. He's a mobile quarterback that can run around and he can make something happen as well. He wears number 4 just like Taylor. Coming out of Texas. He went to Texas for 4 years? Sam Ehlinger, man, he had a really good preseason. I know it's just preseason and we're all getting hyped over Sam Howell's preseason. So you gotta be objective and fair. But Sam Ehlinger, his stats in the preseason, he was 19 for 22, 224 passing yards, 4 touchdowns and no picks with 148.7 passer rating. So I will not sleep on Sam Ehlinger. He's a mobile quarterback, so we haven't seen him play before yet. So Jack Del Rio, he has his work cut out for him. But I would send the kitchen sink at him, blitz him, get pressure on him, confuse him. He is a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback. So I'm not gonna say I believe in Jack. But Jack's been doing a good job for the past couple of weeks. I'll give him his credit where credit's due. I give Jack a hard time. I give Scott a hard time. I thought Scott was a little bit better yesterday too. Ron Rivera was better with challenges and timeouts and clock management. He was a lot better. and just decision making overall. So I give them their credit when it's due, and I'll give them a hard time when they're trash. I will. But yeah, just getting back to studs and duds here. Studs, of course, Terry McLaurin. That was just a beautiful catch on Jair Alexander. Jair Alexander just couldn't check him at all. He really couldn't. He couldn't stick him at all. Terry McLaurin with a beautiful touchdown catch. Also, moving the chains on that last drive. That first down catch where he stayed inbounds, where he came back to the football and stayed inbounds. Then he had another catch where it was tipped, and he got the ball and then ran for a first down as well. We should have scored on that drive, at least a field goal, but it is what it is. Terry McLaurin, he's just a dog. He's just a dog. He is him. He's him. And we finally targeted him 5 catches for 73 yards. He needs more targets. Him and Taylor, you can clearly see they have better chemistry. They just have a better connection than what he did with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz did hit Terry in that first game for against the Jaguars for a touchdown. He hit Terry McLaurin with a couple of nice passes, but the chemistry just didn't look there. It really didn't. It didn't look like what it did yesterday, to be honest with you. Another guy, Antonio Gibson, man, he was awesome. Terry McLaurin was the highest graded guy on PFF. I know PFF is not gospel, but Gibson with the beautiful touchdown catch. Also kick returning. Kick returning was really good too from Antonio Gibson. It was a lot better than Dax Milne. It was a breath of fresh air. I would like to see Antonio Gibson actually run back some punts here and there too, just to get some shiftiness back there, somebody that can make somebody miss and make something happen. He was a good runner as well, man. He had looking up his stats. Him and Brian Robinson, they were both studs for me. They both had solid games running the football. Antonio Gibson also, he almost had a rushing touchdown, but somebody shoestring tackled him. There's one time we hit a nice catch as well, and then he had another nice run, and he was, getting the crowd hyped. He's explosive, man. I think he's the better back out of the two, but I love them as a 1-2 punch. I love them as a thunder and lightning punch. Antonio Gibson, 10 carries for 59 yards, so he hit the over. Brian Robinson, in the prize picks, he hit the over as well. Brian Robinson had 73 carries. Gibby had 5.9 yards per carry, and his longest run was for 20 yards. So he's just a more explosive back. Also, PFF, like I said, is not gospel, but he was the highest rate. He was the second highest offensive player. Terry McLaurin was the first highest. Antonio Gibson had a 76.9 PFF grade, an 82.6 pass grade, receiving grade. His pass blocking wasn't good. It was a 19.3, but his running was a 71.5. Brian Robinson had a 60 running grade. So I guess, that's judging on your vision and running lanes. And that's the thing that they complain about with Antonio Gibson. So his vision has got better. It looks better this year in the last 2 games against the Bears and this game against the, who did we just play? The Colts. The Packers. Brian Robinson got a 73.2 passing grade as well. I think Brian Robinson, did he catch anything? Brian Robinson had 2 catches for 13 yards and he hit a catch for 7 yards. So they're both good in the passing game. They're both versatile running backs. They can do both. Curtis Samuel, he was a stud as well. He had a couple chain moving plays where he got in a fight with Eric Stokes, but he didn't punch him or nothing, didn't push him. So he was smart. He had the presence of mind not to go back and forth with Eric Stokes, where Eric Stokes got the penalty and then we got the ball even farther down the field into the red zone. Curtis Samuel had a couple nice catches for first downs, the end arounds, the reverses. He's just a versatile player. We got to get the ball in his hands for sure each game, for sure. He's a weapon when he's healthy. He's just a weapon. I can't wait till we get Jahan back too. Amani Rogers, thought he stood out. He wasn't a stud, but he was solid. I like what he did out there. Leno was a stud. I thought he did a good job blocking. He had a 79.5 pass blocking grade. Overall 69.5 PFF grade and a 60.7 run blocking grade as well. So who else? That's really it. Taylor Heineke, his PFF grade was a 34.7. Overall. It's probably because of that pick 6. That was terrible. He was so bad in the first half. But like I said, PFF is not gospel. It is what it is on that. Duds, Joey Sly, you got to make that kick, bro. I'm sorry. You got to make that kick. He's got to do better, man. He's been hurting us the past couple games. He missed the kick against the Bears, and now he just missed this kick this week. Who else was a stud? Tress Way was a stud, man. The way he kicked, he's just the best punter in the league, for real. He should be an all-pro. He really should be. He should be. He's one of the best. He should be an all-pro, man. It is what it is. He's able to pin the offense inside the 5. Shout out to Percy Butler or Christian Holmes, Jeremy Reeves, whoever stopped the ball on the 1-yard line. They did a heck of a job. So shout out to those guys too, the gunners. Percy Butler, he had a fumble recovery too. So he's been a great gunner. He's been a great special teams guy. He recovered that fumble from Amari Rogers, who muffed the punt. So he did a great job with that. We've seen guys, Jeremy Sprinkle one year against the Steelers, he laid on the ball and then the ball popped out. He didn't even recover the freaking fumble. Somebody muffed the punt. So there's guys who do fool around and don't recover punts. So you can't sleep on that. So that was big by Percy Butler. like I said, not many duds. Rashad Wildgoose, he's got to tackle better. His PFF grade for tackling was very underwhelming, and he did miss a couple tackles. He missed a tackle on Sammy Watkins, I want to say, or Lazard, and his tackling grade wasn't great. It was like a 43.9 or something like that. His coverage grade was a 43.9. Tackling was a 24.1. Overall grade was 45.6. Jamin Davis was the highest graded guy on PFF for the defense. Otherwise, but watching the game, he stopped Aaron Jones on one play. He had 2 tackles for loss and 5 tackles. He's gotten so much better. Didn't get a lot of snaps this game, but he's been so much better. He looks faster. He's not getting stuck on blocks. He's looking better in coverage. He's flying around. Ron Rivera gave him some praise too, man. Ron Rivera gave him a shout out. You know how Ron Rivera was, giving him a hard time. Like after almost every game in the first 2 games, he was saying that, what's his name? Jamin Davis was just not playing well. So Ron Rivera on Zoom, he had his Zoom conference this morning. He said he's pleased with the improvements on defense, specifically citing better linebacker play from Jamin Davis and Cole Holcomb. So there you go. Jamin Davis, he's playing better. He's getting better each week. A lot of people are calling him a bust and whatnot, but he's got 3 sacks on a year. He's tackling. He's wrapping up. I love that tackle. It was 2nd and 6. He just wrapped up on Aaron Jones, who's a hell of a running back. He was a big part in holding A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones to they only had like 30-something yards rushing, and that was huge, man. That was huge on the defense. Overall, yeah, the Green Bay Packers only had 38 yards rushing the football. So Jamin Davis was a huge part of that. Same thing with Cole Holcomb. So those guys really, really stepped up and were instrumental in that for sure. So Derek Forrest was rated pretty high on PFF as well. Saw him flying around here at 69.9 overall grade. Body McCain was better this week, 67.9. Let me look at Kendall Fuller and see where he was. 59.8, 58.3 coverage grade. Probably because of that pass interference, but he did a good job tackling as well. Deron Payne and John Allen, they had really bad tackling grades for some reason. They didn't get back there on the quarterback that much, but I thought they did a good job, at least rattling Aaron Rodgers just a little bit. Montez Sweat was graded pretty high with his run defense, 75.1 and 60.9 defensive grades. Ben St. Juste was a stud too, in my opinion. I thought he had a couple good stops. He had a 66.7 coverage grade, which was the highest out of all DBs on the roster against the Packers. So he had a nice pass breakup on Lazard as well. So Ben St. Juste, man, he's been improving and getting better. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm not going to get too hyped up. It's a week-to-week league. Got to stay humble. We don't know exactly what Sam Ehlinger is going to do. Maybe he does come out there and surprise people. You just don't know. So you got to be ready. You got to get that game plan right. He's a running quarterback. He's a mobile quarterback. Jack Del Rio does struggle against mobile quarterbacks, so we got to be ready for that. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Health Commanders. Peace.